What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about Dylan Gonzalez, former women's basketball player, her and her twin sister. She's going on to basically be an influencer or Instagram model. She's now doing music, or she has been for years. Well, apparently, she found out about Trey Songz being cleared of any wrongdoing in a Las Vegas incident where a woman accused him of assault. And what's very interesting is that late last year, and I did a video on, I'll link it in the description box. I did a video on this same female, Dylan Gonzalez. She accused Trey Songz of doing the same thing to her. Trey Songz was cleared. He also has a pending situation where a woman is suing him for $20 million. There's a couple of different instances. Listen, whenever I see these stories, even though I will defend a Deshaun Watson in his situation because I feel like there's just too much inconsistencies, and when two grand juries decline to prosecute, that says a lot. And that's a recent situation. With Dylan, it's a little bit tricky because we don't really know exactly when, because she's never said exactly when. She's never said, now I haven't seen it because I've looked it up, what year it happened, what month it happened. It's just been very vague. And I think that is probably why there are people who think that she is lying, because we're getting a lot of vague information from her. Instead of her just telling everything, she said some things about there may have been something that happened, but I don't know if she's trying to avoid being sued. I don't know. But let's get into this article from AssauIt. It says, shortly after it's reported that the Can't Help But Wait crooner won't be facing any criminal charges, the basketball star declares that there is no white flag as the war continues. Dylan Gonzalez has seemingly reacted to news of Trey Songz being cleared in the investigation into an incident case involving her. Taking to social media, the basketball star vowed to continue the war. So this particular situation may have been about her. But again, we got a lot of vague information. Shortly after it was unveiled that Trey, whose real name is Tremaine Alden Neverson, won't be facing any criminal charge, a 27-year-old athlete made use of her Twitter account to share her thoughts. She declared, "No white flag" from Dylan Gonzalez. The war continues. Be strong, not silent. She continued in her post, "To whom it may concern, we're still marching on this side." In a separate tweet, Dylan wrote a cryptic message that read, "There is darkness and greatness. Let it make you, not break you." The New Orleans Gators player went on to say, "You got this." This is what she posted. Again, trying to win court of public opinion. Let me tell a lot of you ladies something. The court of public opinion is not the place where you want to fight your battles. You want to fight your battles in court. That's the only way a guy like Trey Songz can actually lose. Because if women continue, or even a Deshaun Watson, if they continue to fight this battle in the court of public opinion, they're going to continue to lose it. Okay? When you're making accusations against people, you have to make sure that you're giving evidence and you're presenting it to the police so they can do something about it. If you are presenting evidence and the police are like, I don't think he did it, I don't see enough here, then it's going to look bad. And let me just say this too, okay? This to me reminds me of the Chris Brown situation. You know, Chris Brown had a female go public or, pursue charges against him over him forcing himself on her. But come to find out, they had a consensual hookup, and he basically ghosted her. And she didn't like that very much. and she decided to get some payback. She decided to get some payback. Now, there was an interesting tweet that Dylan put up back in December. This was before she said anything about Trey Songz. She says, "People really know better than to attempt to cross me." This is what she said in December. This is before she spoke out against Trey Songz, right? I honestly believe that I don't think Trey has to assault any woman. I really don't. I think a lot of times when you're dealing with, and what I have noticed, just reading the information on Trey Songz is one of those guys that is into rough relations. And I'm not here to say what is right, what is wrong, but guys like Trey Songz are, they seem to be very aggressive in the bedroom. But again, I can't really say that there's proof that he's just going around assaulting women like that. I mean, yes, we have women coming forward, but I mean, he's been able to keep these women off and keep himself from getting convicted in any type of public courts. In this situation in Vegas, he was cleared. That tells me that the police did not feel like there was any sufficient evidence that was brought against Trey Songz. And honestly, I hope this isn't the case, but a lot of times, man, when you have relations with a female and you don't do something that she wanted you to do, they will use their bodies in order to get revenge. Because a lot of these women have dealt with trauma. I would not be surprised if Dylan has dealt with a lot of trauma in her life. And we cover up that trauma. There are women that have had men do things to them over the years, but they don't say anything about those men. But there'll come a time when they're tired of being taken advantage of. They're tired of men using them. And what they will go on to do is they will go and they will weaponize the things that have happened to them onto a man who crosses them. They will weaponize all the trauma and all the pain. I'm not saying that's what's going on with Dylan, but we're going psychological here. They will utilize that trauma against men who crossed them. I truly believe that. I've seen stories of this. Women making false allegations. Listen, it happens, people. It happens. And when somebody is very vague about the things that have happened to them, unless they have an ongoing case, what do you hide? Why are you keeping it quiet for? I mean, you've already put Trey Songz out there. You might as well just put everything out there. Did things not go the way you wanted it to? So you decide, oh, I'm going to get him. And now we have this situation. Dylan's social media post came after TMZ broke the news that the LVMPD has concluded the investigation into the allegations against Trey and determined that no criminal charges will be filed. The authorities continue telling the outlet if any new evidence comes to light, the case will be reopened. Further investigation. That's because, once again, there's a lot of vagueness. Man. If you're gonna make allegations towards somebody, you gotta have proof. I mean, women keep receipts for everything. Women do not hold back on any information. But when it comes to these situations, everything is a little bit more vague. They don't have enough receipts to really pin down charges on Trey Songz. Trey Songz didn't pay nobody off, right? The police just concluded after a couple of months, man, come on, man. There's nothing here. Either people aren't cooperating, or there just isn't enough, or they've seen proof themselves that it was more consensual than anything else. Just like with Chris Brown, Chris Brown kept his receipts. He was not going to allow any woman to pin any allegations on him. And I think more women need to understand that if a man ghosts you, let it go. Because if a guy is astute as Chris Brown, he's going to save everything. He's going to save everything. Trey's attorneys, David Chesnoff and Richard Schoenfeld, I think that's how you pronounce it, said in a statement that they're pleased that Trey Songz has been cleared of wrongdoing. Lawyers added that they're also grateful as the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department investigation has officially been closed. We are grateful to the LVMPD for the professional police work done and their thorough investigation, which included findings of inconsistencies in witness testimony and insufficient evidence. David and Richard went on to say, we are pleased that Trey can now return to what he does best, entertaining. Dylan first accused Trey of assault back in December 3rd of 2021. At the time, she tweeted, Trey Songz did what he did. Lord forgive me, I couldn't hold that in another year. See you in 2022. The WNBA player further detailed that nobody else but you, Singer, forced himself on her. In November that year, while they were in Las Vegas celebrating his 37th birthday. So apparently this has happened back in November. I have seen conflicting reports that this happened years ago. I've seen numerous conflicting reports, but apparently this happened in November of that year. She was the one that was the Jane Doe. She was the Jane Doe. And from what I understand, she was there with a group of women. She was there with a group of women, and out of all those women, he assaulted her. I don't know, man. I just, to me, they're just the information is just not lining up, because they interviewed people that were there, and it just didn't add up for them. And I believe she held back on things, because you give them your text message, you go to the hospital, did you tell anybody? They do all of that. They did their due diligence and they didn't find anything. It's like, what are you holding back? It's like, what are you holding back? Later in January this year, Dylan turned to her Instagram account to address the situation once again, with what seems like endlessly recurring news of the alleged incident committed by Trey Songz. I am forced to repeatedly relive in my mind and suffer anew the long suppressed horror and unbearable PTSD of my situation by his very hands at a well-known Las Vegas hotel, she penned. I want to send my love, strength, and hope to all those who are victims of these situations and its fatal nature. She continued, you are not alone. I stand with you and encourage all those who have suffered abuse to speak out and come forward. Suppression of our voices only emboldens our oppressors, and you committed what you cannot heal what you do not reveal. Well, we need the truth revealed. I mean, we need the truth revealed immediately, because it seems like he's been cleared of what happened to her. Okay, I know I said early in the video it may have happened years ago, because that's what I've been seeing conflicting articles, but it seems like he's been cleared of what happened to her back last year, because something may have happened years ago and maybe she contained it, and then once she hooked up with him again or was around him again, something happened. From my understanding, he brought a bunch of women back to his room, but out of all those women, she was the one where this situation happened to. I mean, it's sad. It really is, because I don't want this young lady's life to feel like it's ruined, or to feel like she doesn't have value, because she seemingly does. There's people that follow her and support her. I want her to be able to move on with her life. I want her to be able to have a prosperous life. But, you know, once again, she's been proven to be wrong, at least in this situation, which I'm assuming is her situation. She's been proven to be wrong. And I don't know where she goes from here, but hopefully she can get the healing that she needs so that this situation doesn't continue to bring her the pain that it obviously is bringing her. But we got to ask ourselves, what kind of pain? Is it regret as to things didn't work out the way she wanted to, or did she genuinely think something happened? Because obviously the police are saying there was no assault, and I'm inclined to side with them. I side with the evidence. I cannot side with the court of public opinion. We have seen numerous women lie on men. That needs to stop. That needs to stop. If you got ghosted, just say that. If Trey ghosted you, if Trey didn't live up to his promise to you, then you need to just say that. Instead of making the police investigate something that to them does not look like it was something that needed to be investigated. Because that's what it's looking like, unfortunately. But for her sake, maybe the truth will come out. I think the truth has already come out. I think we already know what happened. And I think that there's only two people in that situation that know what happened. And obviously the evidence is sided with Trey. And that is on her to prove otherwise. But I have a feeling that this situation is going to go away and we're not going to hear about it again. Let me think in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'll see y'all next one.